Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, y'all. What's going on? All I can say is I'm glad to be back. We had a little lightweight vacay, although I wouldn't call it a vacay. I would call it a working transition because we've been out of pocket for a few days and we had to get our thing back in order. And we're working with a little bit of slightly new setup, slightly new. You know, we doing a little something different, a little something, trying some new things. And to sure, I see you. Thank you for checking in, Val, Martha. Hey, cuz. Hey, Poppy. Kim Shelton, thank you for checking in. I see you, Ken. My man Kenny Mack is in the building, Houston's finest. All right, hey y'all. So y'all know I've been out a whole week, so needless to say, I got a whole lot of stuff on my mind. So I'm gonna take my time a little bit, and we're gonna ad lib today. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff that your usual stuff that's been going on during the week. Nick Brown, I see you, my man. So we gonna cover some stuff right quick. We're gonna have some fun with this here. So y'all hang on while we get this party started.
Door number 2 or door number 3.
Oh, wow. Oh, all right, okay, all right. No, wait, okay. All right, no, wait. Oh, wait, Monty. Door number 1, 3, 2, 8. No, wait, hold on.
Okay, first let me start by saying, I see you, Val. You say you got that book on my shelf. That's what's up. I'm glad you got that one. I want to make sure that everybody knows that you can also get this stream through Twitch and YouTube as well. BM Forbes on YouTube and The Black Factor on Twitch. So if you don't want to watch this feed on Facebook, you can always watch it on either one of those at the same time. And plus, you can do your replays if you want to share this live. Please do make sure that you bring your people in on it. Let them get this message. Let them get some of this work we finna give out. Let them get this work. You heard I said finna. That's a word, finna. Anyway, we're gonna put this work in right quick. And hey, Denise, I see you. Thank you for checking in. We're gonna put in this work right quick because a bunch of crazy stuff is happening, and I got I'm in my feelings. I ain't gonna lie, I'm in my feelings, y'all. Now, I'm gonna try to do this in some kind of order because I'm freelancing here today because it's been a rough week. Look at my face. Look at this. Y'all see? I'm looking like I done ran through the Serengeti for 3 weeks, but it's all right because it's been all good. But I'm getting it together. I had to rush to prepare for today's show because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss not one more day. I've been gone, I think 6 days. That's too long. That's way too long. Funny thing is, I only started out doing this once a week, but you know how it go, y'all. All right, so check this out. I want to start with what probably is the least of these, or all right, y'all. What about Kanye? What y'all know about Kanye? Anybody seen that brother lately? Anybody talk to him? Chicago. Chicago. What they say? Chicago's fine. What about where that man at? Anybody? Somebody do an intervention. Reach out to that brother and check out and see what's on his mind. Because homeboy tripping. Now, we got one unstable. What did he call himself? A stable genius. We got one unstable person in our camp. Dennis, man, I see you, brother. Thank you for checking in. It's been a minute. Cheryl, I see you. That's an unstable dude. Hey, Regina. Now, what will possess this brother to, at this late hour in the game, decide that he is going to throw his hat into the political arena and attempt to become president of these United States. Well, here's the problem. Oh, cousin Jeremy, good to see you, my brother. I'm glad you checked in with me. We have an individual who, by all standards, let's just put this way, way out there. Way out there. What if Kanye West could actually had an opportunity to win the presidency? What does that look like? Let's try to imagine what that looks like. I wish I had some graphics to show y'all, like some type of lucid dream where all of a sudden Kanye is the president and this cat is now running this country, and the most powerful individual, or should I say sitting in the seat of what used to be the most powerful individual on the globe. Now, this is a guy, I'm not going to get into the condemnation of that black man. He is doing what in his mind is what he thinks is a good idea. However, here's where my problem lies, because it's so unfathomable that there's no need really in going too deep into how unstable the man has already shown the world that he is. We've seen I believe it was not long after his mother passed away, that he began to crack. We saw cracks at the seams. Michael Samsonite, thank you for checking in. I see you, brother. Stephanie Collier. This dude was cracking at the seams then. And the only reason I'm even having this conversation is because for some unknown reason, well, no, I know what the reason is. We put a person in office already who didn't belong there, an entertainer, because that's what he's best at. A person whose ego is larger than the planet itself. What would make anybody in their right mind vote for a Kanye West? Well, let me tell y'all something. Today on Facebook, as I was flipping through some stories, someone actually seriously talked as though they were considering voting for Kanye, and made the point of saying that the other two were members of the KKK. And that means Biden and Trump. Now, Trump has, of course, shown his true color. We know what he looks like under his sheet. But this person made it his business to insist that because Kanye was black, that it was a good idea that we vote in favor of yet another black person. Tamara, I see you. Thank you for checking in, dear. Teresa, I see you. So what, Dana Brock, thank you for checking in. What would make this person believe that just because Kanye's skin is black, that he somehow will be qualified to run this country? I'm gonna say this, and y'all on here who stick with me and who frequent my show have heard me say before, and you'll hear me say again. Just because they your skin folks don't mean they your kin folks. Yeah, I think y'all know exactly what I'm saying. Aside from which, people got mad at Barack Obama because he didn't magically wipe away 400 years of hatred and oppression, systemic racism, police brutality, non-reparation, and all of the other problems that black people wanted to bring to the forefront of his presidency, which on the one hand, I do understand their ideology. However, we have to think bigger than that. And speaking of thinking bigger than that, we're going to talk about the blackout for July. 7th. So y'all get ready for that. But in the meantime, this individual, in his anger, because see, one of the things we allow politics and religion to do to us is it makes us very emotional. And we start to say things sometimes that make no sense. And while I used to use the term myself, sort of like, woke, stay woke, that kind of thing, I came to realize that many of our woke brethren are merely sleepwalking. They are sleepwalking, literally. They go through life without really thinking about what they're saying. I don't like to criticize people around me or who will take the time and talk to me and dialogue with me. I don't criticize them for not knowing things, only because I understand that everybody, number one, doesn't know everything, and all of us had to start somewhere in our walk toward knowledge. None of us are the smartest. Everyone can learn more. I learn more every day, and I challenge you all to do the same. But what bothers me is that we have an enormous amount of people, and it's not a black or white thing. It's not a any color thing. It's that we, as human beings, we get caught up. Dennis, Kanye will run on reparations. Don't be fooled, bamboozled, or led astray. See, it goes back to what we talked about. We talked about this reparation thing once before. Reparations is a slippery slope. And I don't know if anybody realizes that if reparations were paid, if let's say, here's another one of those, what would this look like? What would it look like if we took, I think they said it came out to something like $15 trillion, I believe, when they did the math on it. If they doled out that $15 trillion to every black descendant of slaves, which is what ADOS is, and if y'all want to know, look them up. That's American Descendants of Slaves. African Descendants of Slaves, I'm sorry. No, it's American. Don't give me the line. Anyway, my daughter turned me on to them. If you took and doled out that money to every individual who had it coming, I don't know if people realize this, but the economy of this country would be destroyed. Your money probably wouldn't be worth the paper that it's printed on. There has to be another way. Now, I'm not against reparations, mainly because I happen to know for a fact that slave holders were actually paid reparations after slavery for the loss of property because they no longer had slaves in their possession to do their work, to run their farms, their plantations, to make their money for free. And the fact that they had money invested in these individuals, that they were paid by the government. See, and this is where we get into the government issue, if you will. The United States government has sponsored so many atrocities against people of color. Yet we have a faction of white people who walk around every single day expecting black people to stand for a national anthem that was not set for them. They expect for black people to be proud, to be members of this country, to be celebrating July the 4th. When in fact, July the 4th of 1776, my people were not free. That Constitution that states that you're entitled to your inalienable rights and the pursuit of happiness and all of the other crap that was written had nothing to do with us. It had absolutely nothing to do with black people. I had a few happy 4th of Julys in my inbox. I'm not rude. I wouldn't say don't send me this shit, but let's keep it 100. I don't respond to that sort of thing. And it's not that I don't appreciate the fact that this country does offer us particular benefits. However, we also know that we still suffer under the thumb of oppression, under the foot of oppression in this country. And it is not by accident. It is by design. That is the way this was designed. Nicholas Brown, every company and bank profited on slavery. Banks invested in stocks and textiles, which were slaves and cotton. Absolutely correct. Now, y'all know this is my time to do my shameless plug. Don't forget to get your copy of The Black Factor. Let me tell you something. In The Black Factor, in one of the in the economic chapter, I talk about specifically that the stock market, the New York Stock Exchange, was founded on slavery. Slaves were traded. All of the banks many of you use today, particularly Chase and what's the other one? Dang it, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. I know it. JP Morgan. Well, it's a couple more. Anyway, these banks actually held slaves. Many of the universities held slaves. A lot of people don't know this. So, when we start talking about thank you, Poppy Brantley Forbes, Wells Fargo. When we start talking about how we feel about the so-called independence of the black man within America, we have to be very, very careful. They should be careful about what they expect from us. You know, because let me explain it like this. A lot of black folks in America, we have what is affectionately referred to as Stockholm Syndrome. If you don't know what Stockholm Syndrome is, let me tell you. And the reason, there's a funny reason why I was even given that name, but I want you to look it up. Like I tell you all every day. Don't believe what I tell you. Check it for yourself. Stockholm Syndrome is a condition where a person is absconded, kidnapped, taken hostage. And after they've been with that person for a particular amount of time, they begin to feel levels of sympathy and empathy for their captor. So in other words, they become friendly and in fact begin to understand the plight of the individual who has taken them captive. And they become a part of the fabric of that in their way. We, as black people in America, through our own assimilation, because we wanted so much to be like what they said was the way to be, like white people, live like they do, think like they do, act like they do, feel like they do. Through assimilation, we have become a byproduct of their way of living. And so, in our state of captive, we have become okay with some of the treatments and behaviors that we have been subjected to. Everyone pretty much knows Bessie Taylor. Thank you so much for that. I was about to mention her. Heiress and bank robber Patty Hearst. Perfect example of Stockholm Syndrome. In fact, she's probably the poster child. If you look up Stockholm Syndrome, her picture should be next to it. Patty Hearst was the prime example of that. Now, I want y'all to look up Patty Hearst if you never heard of her. That's an interesting story. We have become a byproduct of our environment. And in becoming so, we have let a lot of things happen that shouldn't have. And I know that many of you have heard about, for example, the Tuskegee experiment, where several black men were given a venereal disease, a deadly one. And even when they found out about or created the vaccine for it, shot for it, whatever you want to call it, the cure. They didn't even tell these people that. They used them to figure out what would happen if. And they didn't know. They didn't know any better. That happened. Then you have there were a black military unit was used to test mustard gas. Always kept quiet because, of course, it's military. Top secret stuff. Then you have, after World War II, the invent of redlining, where supposedly black soldiers who went and fought in the war just like everybody else came home and couldn't get a VA loan like the white soldiers unless they lived in a particular area. See, understand, this is partially where your ghettos come from. This is part of where the way we all ended up in our separate environments. This is how it all came to be. Then, after doing so, we became a social experiment, if you will. Welfare came a part of the thing. Now, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of white folks. In fact, the welfare rolls are more populated with them than it is us. But unfortunately, we are held to a different and higher standard, like everything else. And that's the same way you end up with over-policing in your own communities. Because those crimes, the very same crimes that are being committed in our neighborhoods, are being committed in their neighborhoods. The only difference is they don't have 10,000 stormtroopers running through your neighborhood, jumping out of their cars on people and beating you in the head with a billy club, pulling pistols and putting them in your face, kicking your ass. Oh, yes, I am one. I know. For no reason whatsoever. And getting away with it. Well, those days are slowly coming to an end because the youth of today, they ain't taking it, and times are changing. Now, we must be careful about our position when it comes to this election and about the way we are going to move after this election. I am a little miffed, I'm not going to lie, with my man Kanye. And it's funny because I used to spend a lot of time defending this dude when other people didn't want any parts of him. But now this is the way I feel about my man, what used to be my man. I don't know when he went off the ranch, but my brother is gone. And I'm going to tell you like this. The only conceivable reason that I can see for him attempting to run for president at this time, knowing that he has been friendly or has had close acquaintance with the Mango Maniac, I can only imagine that his attempt at running for president is his way of taking the black people who are sleepwalking and using his run as an attempt to divide the vote. If he is capable of dividing the vote, those votes that Trump or would have gone to Joe Biden would probably go to Kanye, and therefore allowing Trump to have a little bit of an edge. Look, I don't take him seriously, and it pains me when I see other people who do. There is no conceivable way or reason why he should be doing what he's doing. Earlier, Dennis in this conversation mentioned that he would be running on a reparations platform. Let me put it this way. Barack Obama is by far a brilliant man, a talented attorney, and an all-around, he's what I would like to refer to as a diplomat. Barack Obama was shut down by the Senate, the Congress. They wouldn't let him do anything. Now, we're talking about a scholar. We're talking about a man with degrees. We're talking about all of the necessities required to be a statesman, be the statesman that he was. Nowhere in that same sphere can I imagine a Kanye West stepping up, believing that he has the knowledge or backing or knowledge or just, I said knowledge, I'm gonna say it again, knowledge, to get something like that done. It ain't gonna happen. That is a wasted vote, and it bothers me, it pains me to think that he somehow believes that he's capable of getting that done. Now, I'm like this. Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to knock the man, but motherfuckers need to stay in their lane. Stay in your lane, Kanye. That ain't your lane, brother. Just because you got some popularity in a little paper and you're married to the white girl, ain't nobody going. Well, let me not say that. Apparently they are, because I had a conversation with one today, and he, for some reason, seems to think that this is a good idea. Only because I guess that his hatred for white people is run so deep that he believes that anything black is better than somebody who was supposed to be on day one getting this country back on track. We are off track. We are way out of pocket right now. And man, look, we need somebody that's going to walk through the door straightening out this mess. This is a mess, period. And I can tell y'all unequivocally, and I've said this before, and a lot of people argue me up and down because, you know, we like to be defeatists. We like to beat ourselves up, and we like to lose the game in our own mind before we ever hit the field. You know, black folks sometimes got a real problem with that. We ain't going to be able to do this and that and the other. Oh, man, it's just going to be horrible. Look, I'm telling y'all right now, you heard it here first, and if you was listening, you heard it here months and maybe a year or two ago. Donald Trump is not going to win this election. The only way he could even conceivably think about the possibility of winning this election is if somehow he is able to cheat his way to it and actually pull that off. At this point, he is under the microscope so hard that it ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I'm not even like concerned. It's just not a thing. He knows it. And if you listen to anything that he says, which most people don't, he's going to have his base. He's got his Kool-Aid drinkers, and they're going to keep drinking the Kool-Aid. And that's fine. But there's not enough of them to overtake what's taking place in this country. This country is going through, we can call it the American summer. They had the Iranian Spring, and where things changed really quickly. You don't know what that is? Look it up. I'm gonna tell you all the time. Y'all look it up. Look it up. We're going through the Arab Spring. We're going through an American Spring. Things are turning. Things are changing. More people have jumped onto the bandwagon of fairness than ever before. And the funny thing is, I always knew that this would take place this way. It would never be that we would be the ones to make that change. It was going to always be them that changed themselves. You can't make somebody give away their power. You have to take their power. When the people who created the problem decide to correct the problem, that's when things will be better. Now we are fortunate enough to have those who look just like the oppressor fighting against them alongside us, which is, I mean, like, hey, I just figure hell finally did freeze over, but it's happening. Whether you like, dislike, or however you feel about others, it doesn't matter at this point. The bottom line is police are being held to account. Finally, black folks are standing up and saying what need to be said, doing what need to be done. Finally. And then there are those who still sit back and say, oh, I don't know why we doing this, and I don't know why we doing that. It ain't gonna work. That old woe is me. I don't know how many of y'all remember the Flintstones and that character on the Flintstones, Bad Luck Schleprock. Remember him? Oh, wowzy woozy woo. He always had something. Everything was bad. Always walked around with a cloud over his head. That's the way some of y'all are. It's sad, but it's true. Some of us have been losing for so long. You don't know what winning looks like. You expect to lose. So you behave that way. Stop acting like losers. Of course, some of y'all are going to be losers regardless, because that's just the way you're built. You can't help it. And it's unfortunate, but like I said, I don't condemn losers for being losers. I only condemn losers for not trying harder. You cannot stop people who are doing things. I just put a post up this evening, and it said, what did it say? It said, why do people who aren't doing anything, I didn't use anything, always try to stop people who are doing things from doing them? Because they're not doing anything themselves. Man, stop it. You either gonna get down or lay down. But what you ain't gonna do is stop people that's making moves. See, look, y'all. This is how I see it. And I brought that topic up for this reason. Do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this loudly, unequivocally, and to be sure. On Tuesday, July the 7th, it is the blackout. Y'all want to know what the blackout is? Do not, on July 7th of 2020, spend any of your money with any establishment that is not one of color, of black people. Now, here's the really sad part. I saw some people who were going hard about why would we, that's just stupid. That's just dumb. They're going to make money anyway. I don't understand why we should do something like that. Let me tell you why you should do something like that. I challenged somebody the other day. Name me one time in these United States where black people have stuck together and made an economic impact. Now, there is one, and that would be the Montgomery bus boycott. That would be the one time where black folks stuck together and damn near bankrupted that entire bus company. Black people understood, realized, and operated under the opinion that they had the economic power to make a difference. And they did. Here we are in the time where we are now, walking around saying things like, and I quote, "In my opinion, whoever came up with this is obviously a dummy. To have this July 7th so-called blackout, this should have been done on July 3rd and 4th. Believe me, most people got their checks on the 1st through the 3rd, and all their money is spent. So the few pennies that people have left to spend, white establishments are shrugging their shoulders, laughing all the way to the bank, saying, go ahead, spend them pennies, nickels, and dimes and quarters because already we got y'all's big bucks. Shaking my head. Whoever came up with this particular date needs their head examined. They're definitely not a wise owl. Now, how idiotic is that? Do we not realize that this is only for one purpose? One day of unity. That's it. That's it. It don't even cost you nothing. Hold your paper. How hard is that? Just don't spend your money for one day. That's it. No arguments, no up and down about it, no jumping around. Just simple as that. Okay. Nope, it ain't that simple. Because there's always one who has to buck the system to prove how smart they are. And I quote, like it was said earlier, this is the 4th of July weekend. The decree should have been made before the 7th. Nobody's going to have money on that day. Like I said earlier, this is done to get votes. Our 2% black dollar won't make a difference at all. This person thinks that the black dollar only is 2%. See, it may actually help the economy because once they find out about our black boycott, then they will offer. I'm not feeling this, especially if Black Lives Matter has anything to do with it. Now, this is from a black person. See, this is my point about we have people that are very vocal and they have absolutely nothing to say. Sleepwalking. Straight sleepwalking. Now, you ain't willing to do shit, but you want to keep everybody else from doing it and talk about how stupid it is. The best thing to do in these situations is just remain silent. And if you don't want to participate, just don't. It's sad because these same people will be the main ones when something happens to them or something goes that it doesn't go their way. They'll be the very people hollering, they always treating black people so bad. Oh man, we always getting the short end of the stick. Guess why? Because of people like you. But you can't see the forest for the trees. You so damn stupid. I digress. Anyway, so going back on this 4th of July, the whole point here is it has nothing to do with the 4th of July. It has nothing to do with other people's ideology of what they think should be going on. What's wrong with us sticking together for one day and then it's free? It's free. See, it's the same way I feel about people who don't vote. Take an hour out of your day. Go cast a ballot. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. I know people that'll go to a club, especially in Atlanta, and stand outside in a line around the block to pay $50 to get in, but won't go vote. Ooh, Lord. Anyway, see, people like those excerpts that I just read to you, these are the people who Harriet Tubman would have shot. See, these are the people who are enslaved and don't even realize that they are enslaved. They'll be the first ones to tell and make enough noise to get everybody caught. And then swear, Massa, I knew they was going to run away. Massa, I had to tell you, Massa. See, that's how Nat Turner got caught up. Nat Turner. Yes, Natasha. Cognitive dissonance. Exactly. Nat Turner got caught up because of a snitch. Oh, I got to save us. I got to save us from Massa gonna get us if we get away. Massa gonna get us if we be free. I don't want to be free. You know, people grow up and live in chaos for so long in their lives that if it's not a chaotic environment that they're living in, they're not happy. They're dissatisfied. Some people can't function any other way. They need that dysfunction in order to live. They need to be a loser so they can have something to complain about. Kenneth Holden, absolutely Willie lynched. Yup, yes they are. They are Willie lynched. So, blackout on Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, please. Blackout on Tuesday. And I want you on Tuesday, spend money with black-owned businesses. Royalty, LLC. My girl out of Florida. Y'all want to spend some money with black folks? That's a good way to do it. She has some fantastic tea blends, and I enjoy it. In fact, I think I'm gonna have me a cup when I get off of here before I go to bed tonight because it is very soothing. I like her teas. I've gotten pretty good with the teas, man. That's some good stuff. But and in the meantime, y'all also, so when you get ready to hit the bed, we're gonna have some more information on this product here coming up pretty soon. Oh dang, it's kind of washed out there, isn't it? I'm gonna have to do something about that. Anyway, this product here is called Froth Naturals. It is a shea butter product, and it's good stuff, man. I've been using it, and boy, let me tell you, I'm feeling all luxurious and smooth. You understand me? She got that good stuff. Yeah, y'all need to check that out. I'm gonna have a lot more information on that coming up as soon as we get everything back up and running here at the show. So y'all stay tuned for that. I appreciate all of my listeners who have already purchased that product. They seem to be enjoying it too, and that's a good thing. So on July 7th, ladies and gentlemen, you want to be supporting black businesses only if you got to spend some money. I had a guy come clean the carpet day before yesterday. Black guy, fantastic job, A1 service. See, now how's that? Let me show you how that works. This is the backside of it. Raina, thank you very much for putting that up. The link to Froth Naturals is up there. Look, I'm gonna show y'all how we do this. See, we get this problem in our community where we want to go, oh, I'm not supporting no more black businesses. They can't never get nothing right. I swear, when this happens, if this ever happens, I'll shut up. Not one time have I ever seen somebody come back from an experience in a business and say, I'm not doing business with white people ever again. They screwed me over. I don't like the way they did. They was unprofessional. And we know there's plenty of white unprofessional people. I mean, let's keep it 100. But have you ever seen somebody go on Facebook or any other social media and make a post like that? See, that just shows you the level of assimilation that some of our people are under. It's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible. And that's Charles Barkley said, it's terrible. It's terrible. Come on, man. Wake up. I'm a triple sleepwalker down the flight of stairs. How about that? Y'all got to stop that, man. You got to stop bashing each other. That's not what this is about. Unity. You got to show some type of unity, some type of loyalty to your people and figure this thing out, man. July 7th. That is Tuesday. Keep your money in your pocket or share it with a person who looks like me. And in fact, order your copy of The Black Factor on Tuesday. I am the writer, editor, and don't y'all laugh at my editing. I'm working on that. Publisher, graphic artist. I did it all. The only thing I didn't do when it comes to this book is print it out myself on the printing press. And whether you notice or not, I actually can do that too, because I came from one of the greatest high schools there ever was in the city of Chicago called Chicago Vocational, and I took print shop. And when I say I took print shop, you got to understand what type of print shop I took. This school taught us everything. We had every kind of trade you can name within that school. There were over 4,000 students at any one time in this school. And we had every kind of shop class there was. And those shop classes, I want you to know, and I'm here to tell you, made me a living, fed my family for many years, just from what I learned at that school. So yes, spend your money with your people on Tuesday. I'm going to keep saying it. Matter of fact, I'm going to get on here tomorrow and I'm going to be trying to find out which one of y'all spent y'all money outside the game. Don't play no games. Cynthia TG, absolutely. That's one of my classmates right there. Hey, she know what I'm talking about. If you walk the halls of the V, Nick Brown, same thing, my man. Look, I got all my people on here. Look here. If you walk the halls, the mighty, mighty halls of CVS, baby, you know what it was. You come out of there knowing how to get money right from the jump. I see Josiah Burt just popped in. Another one of my Cavalier brothers. He can tell you, you walked the halls of Chicago Vocational, you came out of there understanding how to get paper. Because that's one thing about that school. We learned to trade. We learned how to step. We learned how to get money out of that school. You could leave there without a college degree and get paid. Please believe it. I know many who did it, and I'm one. Spend your money with black people on Tuesday. Spend your money with your skilled laborers that look like me, with your financiers who look like me. Speaking of that, y'all, we need to get more in tune with the black banks. Let's go that route. Let's start putting our money with our people, strengthen our economic situation. Last but not least, y'all, before I get up out of here, I would be remiss if I left this day without mentioning to you, cover it up, y'all. COVID ain't playing. Hey, check this out. I know y'all know last week I talked about, as a matter of fact, for the last month and a half, as they were reopening the world, I said it was going to come to this. And where we at? We're in worse condition than we were before, but everybody is out running around thinking that this thing is a game. It's not a game, people. It's killing people, literally. I've lost family members, and I've had lost friends, and I have had people. In fact, for those of you who are new to this feed, you can always go back and check the show with my girl Angela, where she explained and talked about her experience of being in the hospital for 75 days. In a coma for 10, all of her organs shutting down, lungs collapsing, and the doctors giving her a 3-hour prognosis, telling her family to prepare for her demise. And she pulled through it with a lot of prayers from her people and a whole lot of strength. And she got it. She got back in the game with us, and now she's in outpatient rehab, and she's doing well. But there's a lot of us that ain't gonna make it. Who wants to bet their life on it? Cover your face, put your mask on, act like you got some sense. Stay home if you can. I am. So that's about as far as I'm gonna go with that. I was gonna come to Chicago this week, but it appears that if I come there, I may not be able to leave. They're going to try and quarantine me for 14 days. No. Nope. That's not gonna ever work. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not vote for Kanye West. Don't forget to black out on Tuesday. Spend your money with your people. Don't end up being one of those people Harriet Tubman would have put a bullet in. If you know someone who thinks they're woke and they're sleepwalking, kick them down a flight of stairs, figuratively, of course. Wake them up. And put on your face mask. Ladies and gentlemen, all I got to say now is, I'm Brian Forbes. This has been The Black Factor. And I will see you all again on tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves and take care of everyone that you love. Tell somebody you love them. Oh, and last but not least, I almost forgot about this. Not that I forgot about this, but forgot to mention it on my show. Happy birthday to my mama. Today is my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. I know she ain't watching. She won't even turn on Facebook. Anyway, peace out, y'all.
Door number 2 or door number 3.
Oh, wow. Oh, all right, okay, all right. No, wait, okay. All right, no, wait. Oh, wait, Monty. Door number 1, 3, 2, 8. No, wait, hold on.